The moon is rusting and the earth is to blame. A new documentary claims Osama bin Laden may have hid encrypted messages inside pornographic videos. And a man sells 28 years of birthday whiskey to buy his first home. Yay! These are the weird stories for Wednesday on Weird AF News. I'm your host, Jonesy. This is the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a comedian. I hope it's funny. You'll definitely learn something. You're listening to Weird AF News with Jonesy. Did you know squirrels are behind most power outages in the U.S.? That's a weird fact. The moon is rusting and Earth is to blame. Oh no, the moon is rusting. I can't believe the moon is rusting. It's not made of metal. It's made of cheese. Now, if you told me the moon was getting moldy, I'd say, of course it is. Because the moon is made of cheese. Everybody knows that. Delicious. Of course cheese gets moldy after time. The moon has been around for millions of years. Or maybe billions of years? I don't even know. I know nothing about science. But maybe together we can learn something about the moon today. The moon probably shouldn't have rust. Rust is an iron oxide, guys. Did you know that? An iron oxide. It requires both oxygen and water to occur naturally. So, how is the moon, which is a celestial body that's mostly dry and absent of oxygen, collecting rust? Well, turns out it is. Scientists are trying right now to figure out why. A new study was published in Advanced Sciences. They discovered that the rock at the moon's poles had a different composition compared with other areas of the moon. Upon closer inspection, the lead author on the study discovered hematite, which is a common iron oxide. Rust, essentially. Yes. The scientists reached out to NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory out here near me in Pasadena to confirm the find. And of course, they verified it. But at first, they totally didn't believe it. It shouldn't exist on the moon based on the conditions present, this rust. But it is. Why? Why does rust currently exist on the moon? There are a number of factors, but the Earth is partly to blame. Oh, Earth, what are you doing, spraying water on the moon? Well, to begin with, water exists on the moon in small quantities. Did you know that? Yes, of course. Ice water actually exists inside lunar craters. But that water exists on the far side of the moon, which is away from the rust. So how is the water getting there? Well, the current theory is that dust particles that often hit the moon are helping release water molecules from these lunar craters, mixing those water molecules with iron on the surface. Then there's the oxygen part. That's where Earth comes in. What is the Earth doing? Giving oxygen to the moon? The moon is sucking oxygen from the Earth. The moon is breathing our clean air. How dare you, moon? We only have so much clean air to go around. Thanks to the fact that the moon exists in such close proximity to the Earth, the moon actually plays host to trace amounts of oxygen, traveling from Earth's upper atmosphere all the way to the moon. This is why the side of the moon that faces Earth has more rust than the areas that don't face Earth. Now, the author of this paper believes that this process of rusting has been occurring on the moon for billions of years. I didn't know that. Is the moon turning red? That's what I'd like to know. If it's getting rusty, is it slowly turning orange? Are we going to confuse it with Mars? Be like, wow, Mars is so close, bro. Look at it. It's so close. Dude, that's the moon. Are you sure? It looks orange to me, man. No, man. That's not Mars. That's the moon. Yeah, it's rusting. Can you hear it? It's squeaky. Oh, the moon sounds so squeaky tonight. Someone should oil the moon. It's rusting. Osama bin Laden hid encrypted messages in porn videos. This guy was so busy. The new National Geographic special, Bin Laden's Hard Drive, analyzes the extensive digital and written materials recovered by Navy SEALs at the slain terrorist's compound in Pakistan when he was killed in 2011. So this is a special called Bin Laden's Hard Drive. Okay, all right. I'm surprised this exists, but okay. What was on Bin Laden's hard drive? You're probably curious. Well, apparently, he was in the possession of a trove of adult movies and erotic images that were described by officials as fairly extensive collection of modern electronically recorded video at the time. So most of his hard drive was basically porn. This is what he did. He hung out in a cave and watched porn. Was he even a terrorist or just a pervert? What was going on here? Apparently this new documentary which is presented by Peter Bergen, a CNN national security analyst, explores whether these sordid pornographic files were actually shrewd tools for communicating with his people, with acolytes. According to his letters, bin Laden was fearful of using email as a means of issuing instructions to his terrorist subordinates. But because the encryption on the messages could not be trusted in the emails, much of his communication, therefore, with the outside world was facilitated via couriers. And now they think porn? He's hiding. The documentary apparently raises the idea that bin Laden may have been trying to bury encrypted instructions in his porn files. So not in the porn video, but in the porn file? I'm very confused here. I'm so confused. Is he laying voiceover over the porn to instruct his guys what to do? Well, I want you guys to bomb the American embassy tomorrow. Okay, over. I mean, what are we talking about here? One forensic psychologist and CIA expert suggests in the same special that for all his claims of righteous piousness, bin Laden may have just been a normal man who occasionally wanted to indulge in acts of self-gratification. Yeah, probably. He probably wanted to watch porn. Most guys do. They like porn. Even if you're living in a place like Pakistan, you're probably going to want some porn. You know, they don't get to see women naked really on a daily basis, or the skin of women, as a matter of fact. They make them cover themselves head to toe, in case you're wondering, in case you forgot that part of how women are over there. And it's unfortunate that they treat them like this. So, of course, these guys are going to have porn. They probably have a pornographic obsession like no other place in the world, I'd imagine. And therefore, it just seems crazy to me that you think he's using porn for something else, encrypting messages. I mean, the guy probably wanted to wank in a cave, all right? What else is there to do? It says, while the nature of his possible X-rated pursuits may never be known, the discovery of the files does speak to the terrorist's overarching hypocrisy, since watching porn clashed with his fundamentalist image. I mean, I think a lot of the shit he did clashed with his fundamentalist image. You know? Porn, all right, this is one of his minor faults, I would say. In addition to all the pornography, a number of books were found on the hard drive, including books on 9/11 conspiracy theories, U.S. military strategy, works by left-wing liberals Noam Chomsky and Michael Schur? I don't know. The documentary sums it up by saying, exploring these hard drives, it's clear that digital information can say a lot. Osama bin Laden's files left behind an imprint of a complex man responsible for the murder of thousands of people. And apparently he liked boobs. He really did. He seemed to be a boob guy, apparently. A lot of boob titles. You like podcasts? You're listening to my podcast. Maybe you thought to yourself, I'd like to make a podcast. Too difficult. No, not with Anchor. Anchor has free creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor distributes your podcast to Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. They have advertising integration, so you can even make a little money off your podcast. Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your creation. Good luck with your life, man. A guy sells 28 years of birthday whiskey in order to buy his first home. This is a pretty good story. Feels good. A man whose father gave him 18-year-old whiskeys every year for his birthday is selling the entire whiskey collection to buy his first home. Ah, way to go, buddy. Matthew Robson from Taunton, I think this is in the UK. He was born in 1992. Over the course of his life, his father, Pete, spent about £5,000 on 28 bottles of Macallan single malt. Ooh, delicious. I wish someone would buy me a bottle of Macallan for my birthday every year. Wow. Hit me. This collection, by the way, of bottles is now worth more than £40,000, and it's been put up for sale. 28 bottles. The 28-year-old Matthew says it probably wasn't the best gift for a young boy, but with strict instructions never to open any of this whiskey, they kind of became a nest egg. Each year I received a bottle as a birthday present. I thought it was quite a quirky little present, as I was slightly too young to even start drinking. But I was under strict instructions, never to open them, and I tried my hardest and succeeded, and they're all intact, as a matter of fact. His father, Pete, who is from Scotland, said the first bottle of 1974 whiskey was bought to wet the baby's head. What's wet the baby's head? You really pour it over the baby's head? Is that what you do? Oh, the Scottish, man, they got some whiskey related like traditions, I'd imagine. But do you just pour it down the baby's throat? Is it the baby takes a shot at the baptism? I think that's what's going on in Scotland. Here's a quote from his father, Pete. I thought it would be interesting if I bought one every year. He'd end up with 18 bottles of 18-year-old whiskey for his 18th birthday. I don't know why I sound like Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood. It wasn't the only present he got from us. It was just meant to be a unique present, but it was a little bit of luck that we kept it going. Well, since then, the experts say Macallan has become collectible, and the son Matthew's hoping to sell his entire collection for £40,000 to £50,000 and use the money for a house deposit. It's being sold by whiskey broker Mark Littler, who has described it as a, quote, perfect set of whiskey. He says the value of Macallan has risen massively over the last 5 to 10 years. I must use the word massively because I live in the UK. Now, to have such a vast collection of bottles is the real selling point of these, I think. There's been a lot of interest already in the collection, mostly from buyers in New York and Asia. I'm a whiskey broker. I must laugh like this. And of course I'm very drunk. I'm drunk all the time. I'm a whiskey broker. Yes. Some of the whiskey I sell. Some of it I drink. I have a serious problem, seriously. I don't even know why I have my job still. I'm wasted right now. Just selling whiskey! Yay! Hi, this is Christopher Walken. You're listening to Weird AF News. No sleep till now. You guys know how it goes, right? I want to thank Tina. That's right, Tina joined the Patreon and wrote me a nice email. Hey, Jonesy, just want to say I love your podcast so very much. I'm a coffee addict, too, so I'm giving you $5 a month to help keep the caffeine running through your veins, bro. Also, here's a gross, weird story you may already know about. Hugs, Tina.